Hello everyone, I am GXZ. Welcome to my channel. Shenzhen rainy day strolling at Chung Ying Street. Museum, working man's weekend solo roaming. Vlog. True documentary without preaching. The rainy weekend in Shenzhen is a rare moment for this fast-paced city to switch to a slower pace. The urban area, which is always bustling with traffic and hurried on weekdays, has been completely smoothed out by a continuous drizzle. There is no glaring sunlight, no crowds of people traveling. The air is humid and refreshing, and the entire city streets appear quiet and relaxed. After a week of intensive work in the workplace, trapped in front of workstations and computers every day, filled with trivial tasks and frequent communication, my nerves have been in a tense state for a long time. On rare weekends off, I don't want to stay at home and waste time on my phone, nor do I want to follow the trend and clock in at popular shopping districts and scenic spots. I especially chose to take a walk on Chung Ying Street in Shatoujiao during rainy weather. The vast majority of tourists choose sunny weather to stroll through Chung Ying Street, focusing on shopping, clocking in and taking photos. Holidays are crowded and noisy, greatly reducing the experience. On the contrary, on rainy days, the tourist flow on Chung Ying Street has significantly decreased. The entire old street is cool, transparent, quiet, and comfortable, without commercial noise or the noise of attracting customers. There is no need to queue or avoid crowds, making it very suitable for leisurely strolling and immersive sightseeing. Many people who have been to Chung Ying Street only see it as a simple shopping district for cross-border goods, affordable beauty products, imported snacks, and daily necessities, but almost always overlook the most valuable and distinctive niche core point in the block, Chung Ying Street Museum. My travel purpose this time is very pure. I will not shop, clock in at internet celebrities' parking spots, or follow the trend of traveling. My main focus is on immersive museum visits and exhibitions, allowing me to calm down and understand the true history and development of this century-old street with two boundaries. I will record a pure, city-roaming daily experience that belongs only to working people without social connections or rushing. First of all, let me clarify the most crucial travel tips for Chung Ying Street, which is also the easiest point for many novice tourists to step on. Chung Ying Street is not a regular open pedestrian street, but a special border management block in Shenzhen, belonging to the Border Special Management Zone. No one can directly enter on foot, and it is necessary to make an online appointment in advance to apply for a free pass. There's no need for Hong Kong and Macau travel permit throughout the entire process, and only an ID card is needed to complete the travel procedures. You can make an appointment online on the official account of Yanchen or Wonderful Yanchen in advance. Select the corresponding travel time according to your own itinerary and fill in your personal real name information. The appointment process is free and easy to operate. After successfully making the appointment, it is necessary to bring the original ID card with you on the day of travel. Upon arrival at the checkpoint, scan the QR code on the self-service card machine for verification and print a on-time pass certificate. The certificate will be used to clear customs and enter the park. Here is Avery, practical and easily overlooked rule detail. Registered residents can make an appointment once every 7 days, and non-registered residents can make an appointment once every 30 days. Before traveling, you must check the time cycle to avoid appointment failure. At the same time, multiple companions can be added in bulk for a single appointment, which is suitable for family and friends to travel together. However, advance appointment is required, and temporary appointment and certificate application are not supported at the checkpoint. Without appointment, it is impossible to pass. This is a hard rule that must be remembered when visiting Chung Ying Street. The continuous drizzle has given Chung Ying Street a completely different atmosphere from sunny days. which is also the core reason why I prefer to come here on rainy days. The fine rainwater continues to wash down the entire old street, washing the banyan stone pavement spotless lie clean. The originally rough texture of the stone pavement is soaked in rainwater, making it warm and shiny. The shallow water on the pavement reflects the outline of the retro arcade on both sides, the scattered shop signs, and the warm yellow lights. The layers of light and shadow are layered with an old film texture, and at a glance, it is a delicate picture. The Lingnan Retro Arcade buildings on both sides of the block have undergone years of wind and rain baptism, with natural weathered marks on the walls. There is no excessive commercial renovation and transformation, retaining the most primitive style of the block. The humid atmosphere of rainy days amplifies the unique retro texture of the old street. After successfully passing through the customs and entering the block, I couldn't feel the hustle and bustle of the internet-famous scenic spot at all. The streets were sparsely populated, and walking was particularly relaxed. The shops along the street are all operating normally, covering various cross-border businesses such as snacks, beauty products, daily necessities, and tonics. Most of the shop owners are quiet and on duty, without the chaos of attracting customers or loudly promoting along the street. The overall atmosphere is quiet and leisurely, without any sense of oppression. It is precisely because of this rare tranquility that one can completely calm down and focus on exploring the cultural landscape in the neighborhood. The Chung Ying Street Museum is located in the heart of the middle section of the old street, with a very advantageous geographical location that is easy to find. However, due to its low-key and simple appearance, there are no exaggerated storefront designs, no internet celebrity check-in decorations, and no deliberate traffic promotion signs. The vast majority of tourists rush to the shopping shops along the street after entering, passing through the exhibition hall without stopping, keeping this niche museum hidden in the old street, quiet and peaceful all year round. On rainy days, the exhibition hall is almost exclusively a private experience, with few visitors and no crowds or noisy photography. There's no need to deliberately avoid crowds or rush to check in. You can walk slowly and observe carefully at your own pace, immerse yourself in every detail of the exhibition, and calm down to touch the century-old history of this old street. The overall architectural scale of Chung Ying Street Museum is not large, belonging to an exquisite humanistic theme exhibition hall. It is a normal light tour, carefully viewing all exhibition areas, with adoration of between 40 minutes and an hour. The rhythm is relaxed and not tiring, making it very suitable for weekend light outings. An immersive relaxation. The overall exhibition layout of the exhibition hall is well organized and reasonable, with a clear and smooth travel route. The entire process is arranged in a strict timeline, from the early primitive fishing village style and regional cultural origins of Shatoujiao to modern border demarcation and block division, to the century-old commercial iteration and modern urban changes, fully connecting the development of the entire area. The exhibition style of the entire exhibition hall TNDS2 be documentary and realistic, without obscure academic theories, empty text stacking, or deliberate lyrical rendering. It is mainly based on real old photos, original archival materials, vintage physical collections, and scene replica models, with a combination of graphics and real objects. The content is simple, straightforward, and easy to understand. Even ordinary tourists who are not familiar with history can easily and quickly understand the development process of Chung Ying Street. It is the most intuitive and high-quality window for ordinary tourists to systematically understand this street, with two boundaries. On rainy days, the interior lighting of the exhibition hall is soft and even, without the problem of strong light and GLR. The quiet indoor environment isolates the outside rain and street noise, creating a peaceful and healing atmosphere. Strolling through exhibitions in such an environment makes it easy to calm down and gradually unravel the regional stories, border cultures, and urban changes of this special land, getting rid of the fast-paced restlessness of daily life and fully immersing oneself in the slow-paced cultural adventure. The first floor of the exhibition hall mainline focuses on the original history of Shatoujiao, fully restoring the early street natural scenery, village layout, and indigenous living scenes of this land, clearly showing the complete beginning of Shatoujiao's development from Asmal coastal fishing village to Arbor district. This exhibition area displays a large number of out-of-print old photos, accurate topographic maps of old village layouts, and sea landscape diagrams, fully replicating the village layout and coastal landforms of Shatoujiao from 100 years ago. At the same time, the exhibition area houses a large number of old objects that the indigenous people have actually used, including old farming tools, nearshore fishing tools, daily household utensils, handmade textile objects, old-fashioned life ornaments, etc. Each piece of collection carries clear traces of the times, with real and delicate details of wear, oxidation, and aging, allowing visitors to intuitively feel the most primitive and simple seaside fisherman's life in this coastal village 100 years ago. In addition to showcasing the lifestyle, the first floor exhibition area is also the core area for tracing the history of Chung Ying Street. It specifically sorts out the background of the birth of Chung Ying Street and the origin of the division between one street and two boundaries, filling the fragmented cognition of most tourists. Many people have only heard of the saying Chung Ying Street is divided into two places, but they have no understanding of the historical origins behind it. The exhibition area clearly reproduces the complete process of modern border demarcation and regional division through a large number of official historical archives, graphic records, and boundary documents. It explains in detail the standards for defining street boundaries, regional ownership, and early border management models, concretizing and visualizing abstract historical concepts so that every visitor can clearly understand the origin story of Chung Ying Street and understand why this short 200-meter street has become a unique special border block in Shenzhen. The second floor of the exhibition hall is one of the core exhibition areas of the entire museum, focusing on the documentary of the century-long commercial changes of Chung Ying Street, which fully summarizes the century-long commercial development process of this old street from scratch, from scattered transactions to mature cross-border business districts. The exhibition area is divided into 4 stages: early spontaneous private transactions, midterm standardized shop operations, peak cross-border shopping boom, and modern steady development, presented in chronological segments. Each stage of development is accompanied by corresponding physical collections, street images, and written records. The exhibition area houses a large collection of vintage items, including wood and signs of shops from different eras, old-fashioned transaction books, cross-border travel documents, shopping receipts, imported product packaging, old-fashioned daily chemical products, nostalgic imported snack ornaments, as well as street photos spanning decades and tourist photo archives. The contrast between old and new images is strong, and the visual impact is full. The iterative changes in the business, style, and pedestrian flow of the entire block can be clearly seen, from the small-scale cross-border material exchange spontaneous life formed by the seaside villagers, to the simple street stalls gradually built, to the organized and unified street shops, and finally developed into a well-known cross-border shopping characteristic block in Shenzhen. Every step of development and every change is supported by real objects and images, with detailed and convincing content. These vintage details are highly immersive, with old-fashioned handwritten receipts, yellowed product packaging, and vintage store signs, fully restoring the commercial atmosphere and bustling atmosphere of Chung Ying Street. From different eras, At the same time, the exhibition area also includes a large amount of oral and documentary materials from local residents of the old street, as well as historical fragments preserved by the people, breaking away from the rigid records of official historical materials. It restores the fireworks and changes of the old street from the perspective of ordinary people, making the cold history vivid and lively. It also allows everyone to see that this old street not only has the weight of border history, but also the traces of several generations, lives and the warm th of the city. The most central commemorative and worthwhile part of the entire exhibition hall is the boundary marker, the MED, documentary exhibition area, which is also the soul and essence of the century-old history of Chung Ying Street. The small boundary marker is the most central historical imprint of the entire block, witnessing the 100 years of wind and rain changes of this land, and also the most intuitive symbol of one street and two boundaries. The exhibition area uses high-definition real-life images, complete official historical materials, detailed textual annotations, and one physical replica models to comprehensive lie and from multiple angles. Record the birth background, placement erosion marks of time, previous repair and protection work, and the historical stories behind several boundary markers on Chung Ying Street. The exhibition area meticulously dismantled the exclusive origins, historical significance, and changes of each boundary marker, clearly explaining the material differences, engraving details, and historical backgrounds of different batches of boundary markers, giving the cold stones in the public seize complete historical context and story of time. Many tourists check in at the boundary markers on the street, only taking pictures as a souvenir without understanding the historical value and deep significance of the markers. Only by visiting this exhibition area can one truly understand the profound past behind the markers and the special value of this old street. In addition to the boundary marker, the Met exhibition area, the museum also sets up ACID-style comparison exhibition area through a massive collection of old and new real-life images, urban construction materials, and planning drawings. The original appearance of the coastal village in Shatoujiao in the early years and the dilapidated pattern of the old blocks are visually compared with the clean and orderly Chung Ying Street and modern Shatoujiao urban area today. It clearly displays the decades of urban construction iteration, environmental upgrading, and cultural development in this border area. All materials are authentic and detailed, with both ornamental and informative, and can clearly see the transformation and growth of Shenzhen's border urban area. The overall experience of visiting the entire museum is very comfortable. The exhibition hall has a moderate size, solid content, and relaxed rhythm. There are no lengthy and boring descriptions, no deliberate lectures, and the entire process is objective, real and detailed historical documentary content. It purely reproduces history through physical objects and images, and the viewing experience is very comfortable. The quiet and deserted environment of the exhibition hall on rainy days greatly enhances the tourist experience. There is no hustle and bustle of crowds, no rush to check in, and you can stop at will, slowly read an old object, an old photo, or a piece of historical material, and carefully explore the stories behind every detail. It is difficult to encounter this slow-paced exhibition experience in Shenzhen's internet-famous scenic spots, as there's no need to accommodate others' pace, no need to deliberately take photos and videos, and simply immerse oneself in receiving historical information. After a thorough and complete visit to the museum, walking back to the main street of Chung Ying Street will completely change one's perception. The block, which was originally just an ordinary shopping street and retro street in the eyes, instantly has a complete historical context and year and charm. Every old arcade, every bluestone, every old shop, and every block layout on the street can correspond to the historical background and development stories seen in the exhibition hall. The street, which is just over 200 meters long, may seem small and ordinary, but it carries over 100 years of border changes, commercial iterations, and urban fireworks. The sense of heaviness and uniqueness is instant life-filled, which is also a deep pleasure that can never be experienced by simple shopping. I feel like everyone is watching. Welcome to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.